Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
You guys ready? Good afternoon. Hello. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. I'd like to say thank you for joining me. We're here to help you to improve your credit scores and teach you how to save money on your future purchases. Right now, most people are getting their income tax checks, and as a result of them getting the income tax checks, the first thing they think of is automobiles. In fact, I get phone calls from many people, and they'll say, well, Mr. Remus, can you help me get a good deal on a car? I love the car business. I spent most of my life in the car business. As a matter of fact, that's where I learned most of the information I know about credit from doing automobile deals. When you work in an industry for a number of years and you see as many different situations as I have, your number one objective becomes, well, how do I help this person to get a car? I've seen people come into the dealership, and of course we run their credit, and they had no idea what the credit scores were. And in fact, because they had no idea, generally that meant that once we pulled it, we were working very hard trying to get them into the car that they want. Just because you have a bad credit score don't mean you can't buy a car. Is whether or not you're able to keep that car. One of the biggest problems in the United States right now is people are falling behind on their automobile loans. Now, what happens when you go into a car dealership and you want a car, but now is not actually the best time for you to purchase a car? So what happens? The car dealership sees you as an opportunity to keep its doors open. Their objective is to help you buy a car. So if my objective is to help you to buy a car, I have to take the customer based on the situation that exists at the time that person walks into the dealership. Not all customers walk into dealerships using, at the right time. And the reason why I say is they don't walk in at the right time because they don't plan. They don't know what the credit scores is. All they've done is they've made a decision. I want a car today. In fact, I had that situation last week with one of my little relatives. She called me. She says, "Unc, I need to buy a car. I'd like to have a Nissan." And I'm not going to go into the dealership or anything like that, but I try to direct her into a dealership where I had relationships with the management and finance and that kind of thing, so that I can kind of protect her a little bit from herself. But in talking to her, I said, well, do you know what your credit score is? The first question that I ask most people when I talk to them, because they do call me and they want advice on buying things, they'll say, well, I need to buy a car, because I need transportation to and from work. Or right now, there's a lot of people that are taking jobs with Lyft and Uber. And, these companies have provided opportunities for people to have jobs, but they got to be able to present their own automobile. Or in the case of Uber, they're financing automobiles for people or renting them automobiles in order to, to keep their businesses going, because they have to have, the city of New Orleans require cars reach a certain standard. Those cars, if a car doesn't reach a certain standard, then they can't be used in that industry. So as a result, you need to start by first things first. If you'll just go to YOUAND credit, CREDIT, and pull up unioncredit.us and pull up my website, we'll be able to give you an idea of what your credit score is. On the website, there's a button that you can press, and you have to fill it out, but you can get all 3 credit reports free of charge. Think about it. When there's a company called Credit Karma, great company. They provide great opportunities for people to know what their credit scores are. But here's the thing: Credit Karma only gives you 2. They only give you 2 credit reports. So the 3rd credit report, you don't know what's on it. Now, how are you going to effectively monitor, increase, or dispute information on your credit report when you can't see it, when you don't have all 3 copies? So you don't know what's on Equifax. Most often than not, information can be on one credit report and not on the other. And we find that a lot of times. If you ever take the time to look up your information, and as I said earlier, we have a website where you can pull up all 3 credit reports free of charge. It's time for our first break. This is You and Your Credit with Remus Bowman, and I'll be right back.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us, because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
Are you looking for a hall to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Hi, I'm Remus Bowman. I'd like to invite you to join me every Monday at 12 o'clock. We're going to provide information for you that's going to give you the opportunity to feel confident in whatever it is that you need. When you have a good credit score, you can get whatever you want at a low price, low interest rates, and that's the way it is. That's you and your credit on Mondays at 12 o'clock. I'll see you then. We're back. As I said earlier, first things first, you got to go to the website, youandyourcredit.us. Go to the website. If you go to the website, I got a deal for you. This is an offer that a smart person would want to take advantage of. If you'll go to the website today, press the button where it says free credit reports. Fill that out and send me your information that you did. I'll give you your first month of credit restoration at no charge. The only fee you'll be paying is the fee for the service to pull the credit report, and that's free for the first 7 days. But you want to stay in the program, so it generally takes 30 to 60, sometimes 90 days to get the credit score that you need in order to do what you're trying to do. But I can't make that determination until after I see it. And the only way for me to view your credit report is for you to give me the information I need. I need your login, and permission from you in order to pull up your report. By the way, you probably are familiar with My Free Credit Score Now, which is a national company, and this is the company that we're using to do all three credit reports. It's a national company. This is a secured site. Nobody can pull your, once you go on this site, nobody else is going to be able to pull your information. I can't pull it unless you give me the information that's necessary in order to pull it from. So what happens is, it's a secured site. Remember what I said. So if you don't want me to know what's on your credit report, hey, unless you ask me to, I can't. But if you ask me to and you give me your login, then I'll be able to look at the information that that you need in order to change that score. Now, there's a lot of people who are trying to buy automobiles that don't have credit scores. If you had a 600 Beacon score last year, but you have no information other than one account that was paid off 2 or 3 years ago on the account, I can tell you after 24 months, an account is, even whether it's paid for in good standing or not, after 24 months or somewhere around between a year and 2 years, no information from this other than the information of the account being on your credit report, it won't generate a score. It won't, generating a score is an active thing. And what most people don't know is that credit bureaus are taking information all day long, systematically. These are computers. And a lot of people are not aware that the credit bureaus they're wholly owned corporations. They're not nonprofits. They're in business. So what they do is, and one of the biggest problems that I think most people don't understand is, they sell your information to companies that are looking to do business with you. Now, there's a huge market. One of the biggest things that's going on is surplus line and secondary lenders buying people information and offering you opportunities to get financing through them. And when you get the financing, the interest rates are so huge that, you know, and the down payments are huge. So what happened is they're collecting, you know, it's the same thing that's been going on for a number of years, especially when it comes to income tax time and buying cars, large down payments. Give me that $4,000 or $5,000 that you just got from IRS for the taxes. You know, you don't deserve to buy a car. Understand the terms, so we're going to give you, you know, we're going to give you an approval, but you're going to be paying 18 to 25% for an automobile loan plus fees. It's just madness. I don't know how, you know, how to convince you that you don't have to do this. I've seen people, I've had customers, clients of mine, walk in. We worked on their credit within 30 to 40 days. I've seen their credit scores go up from 400 beacon scores to 660 within 40 days. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that's going to happen with everyone. I'm not saying that that's going to happen with you. But what I am saying is, if you do nothing, nothing's going to change. And what most people don't realize is that when you submit an application for an automobile loan or for a loan, even if it's a bank loan, a credit card, or a loan to purchase a house, most of the approvals are done by computers. And what the computers does is they'll analyze your information, and based on what the score is, along with the information that's on your credit report, that determines whether or not they approve your loan and at what interest rate they approve your loan. Oftentimes I'll talk about, you know, we provided a scale. We provided a scale on the website where it tells you how scores are interpreted. Now, what most people don't understand is these scales are the actual impressions that the lenders develop as a result of your score. If you're 300 to 600, then you actually have a poor credit score. That's not a good score. Some people think a 600 is a good score. It used to be years ago. Now, a 600 is considered to be a poor score. 550 is not a good score. A lot of people think, man, I got a 550. Yeah, you could probably buy a car with a 550, a 560, 580, 590, 600 beacon score, but your interest rates are not going to be anything impressive. You know, so as a result, because what you're doing, and as I spoke earlier, there's a big problem in the United States right now. There's over $200 million in outstanding debt. People who are falling behind on their automobile loans. A great percentage of people have bought cars and are in the process of having those cars repossessed. Now, you tell me, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sign it. I need a car, so I'm between a rock and a hard place. I'm up against my back's against the wall. I need a vehicle, but I haven't done the things to reduce the note. I haven't, I feel that I need a car first. What's better? What's first, the chicken or the egg? If you buy a car and the notes are so high that you can't afford them, also you're not taking into consideration that interest rate that we talked about. Those your score, your credit score, also determines what you pay for insurance as well. So now you're going from a situation where if you had a reasonable, let's say a 650 or 640 credit score, and you walked in, you wanted to buy a car, then your insurance is going to be lower. The price that you pay for the car is going to be lower. It makes it a lot more easier for you to afford that note. Why would you want to go from a note that, let's say, $450 to $600. And there are lots of people that do this. On my website, there's a great example of a person purchasing a brand new Camry, brand new, the 2018. One guy has a score of a 730, pays 1.99% interest on a $24,000. The car itself costs $23,000. Total payments on this vehicle is $24,000, minus the down payment, and the interest paid is only $1,300. The major problem is that when you don't do anything, when you don't believe that this can happen for you, I'm telling you, man, I've had so many customers, so many people that started out in similar situations as you are, who have gone on to do great things, buy homes, the whole 9 yards. And matter of fact, a lot of them keep in touch with me, and a lot of them, people are very private about their information. So some people kind of, they go through our program and they don't really want people to know that they had to go through a credit repair program in order to get back on the grind. I just had a phone call Sunday from a guy who I personally know for over 30 years, made a ton of money, on a great job, recently retired. He has a $300,000-$400,000 house paid for. Has had a very good life, made a very good money, a very good income over the years. But now the situation has changed, and now he's retired. So, and he's gone through divorce and the whole 9 yards. And now he says to me the other day, he says, Remus, what can you do to help me? So, we had a conversation. He told me you'll be in town the first of the month, and I'll sit down with him and we'll counsel him. But the thing is that we have to understand that it's not helping our situation to be ashamed or bashful or keeping it to yourself. You might be riding around in that little Mercedes or, a really nice car, but you're only riding for a few months. When you're only riding for a few months because you can't keep up with that high insurance payment and the high monthly note on the car, and the car is repossessed, and now you've lost your down payment. That was a waste. That was a waste of everything. I'm saying, give yourself 30, 60 days. Tell you what, if you'll go to You and Your Credit.us, pull up the website, pull up the information, and get your free credit report, send me an email that you're doing it. Now, this is going to be a limited offer. Let me say this because I'm about to give away something that's going to cost me some serious bucks. This is a limited offer. If you would, go to the free credit report, pull it up, send me an email. You're on my website, send me an email that you're doing it. I will do your first letters free of charge. So that gives you 30 days for you to find out whether or not your credit score has been improved at no charge. So now you're getting a free credit report and free letters sent directly to the credit bureaus at no cost. Now, what else can I do for you? I don't know, man. That seems like a pretty good deal. This guy tells me he's going to help me improve my credit. He's going to help me save money, put me in a situation where I can go and buy a car, buy a house. It is not going to cost me anything. I'm waiting. If you'll send me your information, your request for information, I'm waiting. I'm here right now waiting for you so that I can help you start a new financial life. We've helped many people over the years. I'm just saying, if you'll do it, first things first, I need you to pull up your credit score. If you have to pull up the credit score and give me your login, and once you do that, I'll be able to pull it up, and we'll be able to take it from there, and we'll do your first letters free of charge. We'll be covering the cost to mail them and everything else, and we'll do your disputes, and we'll send them to the credit bureau one time. Now, one of the reasons why you want to stay in this program with the credit reports is because if you do that, then in about 30 days you'll be able to pull up this information again and be able to track to see if your credit scores have changed. And you want to do that. You want to know if your credit scores have actually changed. Am I doing something that is really a benefit to me? Again, as I said a moment ago, work with me. Go to the website, youandyourcredit.us, pull up your free credit scores, then send me your information. Directly under that information, it says fill out the form for free consultation. Directly under there, right there, fill that information out, send it to me, and we will get back with you, and we will do your first month free of charge on the house. And I guarantee you, we'll improve his credit score the first month without any financial obligation from you, other than we'd like to request that you stay in the credit monitoring program for the first month, so that in 30 days, when we're looking at it again, we'll know just exactly how many points your scores increased, and as a result, we'll know the direction to go in for the next round of letters, and I'll be able to give you a good deal on the second round of letters. So we're going to do the first letters first. First letters free, and the only charge you're going to pay for is the credit monitoring system, and or it's just first 7 days are free, and then after that there's a charge. But we're gonna give you the first letters. We're gonna just do your first round of dispute letters free of charge. I've seen people gain 150 to 100 points on the first round of letters, and I'm sure we can help you the same way. You got to trust us. First round free on me, on the house. Can't get that at Harris. They charge for everything. First round free. Free credit reports. Free credit scores. Free dispute letters. Free dispute letters. You get that, but you have to give me permission to do it. So we have to communicate. I have to have you e-sign some stuff, giving us authorization to submit the letters on your behalf. We can't just arbitrarily. There are so many laws that keep someone from being able to arbitrarily pull your information. That's, there would be invading your privacy. You don't want that to happen. You want to be able to know exactly who's doing work on your credit report, and what the goal is, whether or not they're gonna be helping you or not. That's free credit report, and free first round of dispute letters. That's a whole big deal, man. That's the whole enchilada. And then after you do the first round of dispute letters, you will know what your current credit score is and how long you need to stay in the program, and we'll be able to take it from there. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. We appreciate you joining us. Should be time for our second break. And we'll be right back.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, I'm Remus Bowman. I'd like to invite you to join me every Monday at 12 o'clock. We're going to provide information for you that's going to give you the opportunity to feel confident in whatever it is that you need. When you have a good credit score, you can get whatever you want at a low price, low interest rates, and that's the way it is. That's you and your credit on Mondays at 12 o'clock. I'll see you then. One of the things that most people are not aware of is that there's a simple chart that the credit reporting agencies use. It's a very simple chart. And, there's a certain percentage that you'll take your whole credit file like a pie, like a pizza. And 35% of that pie represents your payment history. So if you have a long payment history, let's say you've been in the credit bureau like me for a lot of years, then that's a good thing. And that's 35% of your credit report. Now, if on your credit report, if you ever missed any payments for over 2 years, chances are you're going to have a great credit score, 650, 700, 800, 850. But if you have missed payments, then you can see how missing those payments is depreciating your opportunity for a great credit score. Now, if your credit score is pretty low and you have some adverse accounts on your credit report and you remove them, then removing the negative information off your credit report, then that dissolves that issue. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to go out and get everything completely taken off your credit report. Sometimes that makes sense. A lot of times it doesn't. Because if you just have your credit wiped clean and you don't put anything else, any other credit on your report, then it's going to come up with the zero score. And that's the same difference as having bad credit. Zero score, bad credit, same thing. It's just a different terminology, different way of looking at it, but it's the same actual effect. 0%, bad credit. 400, bad credit. 500, bad credit. 350, bad credit. Now, again, as I said earlier, in some cases, we want to remove the negative information off your credit score, off your credit report, and replace it with new opportunities. New opportunity would be like, again, back to my website, we have credit cards that you can purchase. We have one that's called First Progressive. We have another one that's called the Credit Builder Card. If you go with either one of these cards, they will start reporting new credit activity to the lending institutions, to the credit reporting agencies. As you get new information, it's like putting a light in darkness. Now we're removing the negative and replacing the negative with new opportunity. Now, again, as I said earlier, it's like a pie. 35% of that pie is your credit history. 10% of that pie is new credit. Now, new credit meaning, have you gone out and made a new purchase on your credit cards, gotten a new credit card, or bought a new car, those kind of things. Now, there's only when you make new purchases, a lot of times we will see that your credit score, if you have a decent score, 650, 700, and you make a new purchase, you buy a $30,000 car or whatever, you'll see that for the first 3 or 4 months, your credit score goes down a little bit. Because what happens is you're taking on the additional financial obligation, and the chart has to see that you can actually handle the additional monthly payments. And so as a result, as these payments are being made, it's inevitably going to raise your credit score. New payments. Then there's the amount owed. There's what's known as a debt ratio. The amount owed versus how much your income is tells the lender whether or not you can afford comfortably to make additional purchases. Now, a lot of times people go out and they'll create false impressions, give fake information on the amount of money that they're making and that kind of thing. So consequently, banks will give loans for higher amounts. So now you're getting a loan for $600, $700, $800 a month. I had one lady, man. She was making a car payment of about $900 a month, and she called me one day. She said, "Mr. Remus, I can't handle this, man. This is rough. I'm handling it, but it's rough." I was like, wow, your car payment's like $900 a month. In my opinion, I could never actually, no matter how much money I've made, there's been times in my life where I've made significant amounts of money. I've drove expensive cars at times, very expensive, but I could never imagine paying $800 or $900 a month car note. But that's just me. Sometimes we want to drive the big Armada or the Infiniti or the Jaguar or the Mercedes, $60,000, $70,000 cars. Those are great. But let me say this. Occasionally, if you'll pay attention, these same cars are offered at opportunities to lease. The other day I was watching, I'm sure it was Toyota, and it was a RAV4, and it was advertised on TV, and what the ad said, that if you put up $29.95, that your payment would be $265 a month. Now, put down $3,000, pay $265 a month, drive a new RAV4. If you pay attention, you'll see that they have the same. Now, those are leases, but here's the trick with that. Let's say you go out and you lease a car, and you lease it for the 2 or 3 years. And you say, well, I really like this car. And had I purchased the car, I would have been paying $600, $700, $800 a month. But I'm going to put this down payment because generally most people put down payments anyway to cover their taxes. I'm going to take this down payment, I'm going to get this lease. And in 2 or 3 years, I'm going to convert this lease into a purchase. Rather than paying $700 or $800 or $900 a month every month which is very difficult for most people, especially if you have anything that goes wrong in your life, versus rather than doing that, why not lease it for the first 2 years, a year or two, and then convert it into a purchase? If you convert it into a purchase after you've had it for a few years, your notes will probably be the same or similar as what you're paying for the first 3 years. Because the value of the vehicle will be less. You won't be buying a brand new car at $30,000 or $35,000 or whatever. You'll be buying a brand new car, a car that would be brand new to you, and all you'll be doing is converting that new car from a lease to a purchase, and the value of the vehicle will go down. The appraised value should, in most cases on leases, they're pretty much predetermined. So you'll be purchasing the vehicle at a lesser amount and paying a similar note after that 2 or 3 year lease is up. There's so many different ways that you can convert instead of signing on for $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 a month. Think about it. If you pay $500 a month for an automobile, that's $6,000 a year for that car. $6,000 a year. Now, if you had a high interest rate, a large percentage. As a matter of fact, we have an example right here on the website, and we talked about it earlier. $730, $199. The payment per month on that vehicle, brand new Camry, was $368 a month. But if your credit score is 600 or 599 or better or lower, your payments are $513 a month. So if you look at it, that's $150 a month less. And think about it. Would it be easier for you to make a payment every month of $360 versus a payment of $513? Now, what most people forget is not only is the interest rate going to be higher on the purchase of a car, the interest rate is also going to be higher on the insurance for the car. So now, versus paying $200 or $300 a month for the insurance, now you're paying $400 a month for the insurance on the same car. I'm telling you, you're missing an opportunity to save a lot of money. A lot of money. Think about it. Just go to the website, youandyourcredit.us, youandyourcredit.us, pull up the free credit score, run your credit score, and email me when you get that done, and we'll be happy to do your first dispute letters free of charge. First month of dispute letters free of charge. So you haven't paid anything. You got everything for free. How good is that? You tell me, is that a good deal? Would that be a good deal for you? I think it's a good deal for you. It doesn't work for me because I'm picking up the cost. There's a cost to mail anything, software costs, computer costs, the whole 9 yards. And I promise you, on the second month, if you stay in the program, we're going to make you a very good deal on a monthly note that you can afford. And within 2, 3 months, 6 months at the most, you'll be ready to go out, pick up the car you want, get your house, rent you a nice vehicle, lease you a nice apartment. I have people that call me about apartments, the whole 9 yards. By the way, if you have a 0 credit score, and you have no other information on your credit report, please take it from me. get a credit card. Now, in order to have a good credit score with credit cards, you have to pay them. You got to keep your cards within 30%. So if you got $100 card, you only want to use $30 off the $100. You don't want to use the $100. And you want to know when it's time now for your payments to show up in the credit bureaus, because that's going to determine what your score is based on how much you pay and what percentage of that credit that you're using. So you need to pay attention to that. I'm trying to decide if we want to get into some self-help programs. I'm thinking about it. If I'll have people email me and let me know if they'd like me to do a series on the 602 letter, which is what I was thinking about the other day. Because I was thinking about including the 602 letter on the website that you can download and print up yourself, and you can do it yourself. We're thinking about it. I haven't made a decision. I know that a lot of people have used that letter to clear information off their credit reports themselves. And we want to, my objective is to give you the information you need to make great decisions. We'd like to be here for you if you need us, but we'd like you to learn, because in my community, I spent a lot of years in the car business. And I saw so many people walking in these car dealerships without a clue, man. And if I can just get your ear, lend me your ear just for a little while, I promise you, you will not be sorry that you paid attention. We're going to teach you some information, but you have to participate. So if you participate, you'll get it. And when you get it, you'll be glad that you took out the time. Now, think about it. Would it be easier for you to pay a $513 a month note or a $366 note? Would it be, plus the cost of insurance? Again, as I said earlier, insurance today is based on your rates, on your credit scores. So, I mean, they're right down the line. Everybody knows it. This is the way it is. Credit scores, interest rates. Interest rate, your scores, your credit scores determines your interest rates. Then your credit scores determine your insurance, because there's a direct relationship between people who have higher credit scores and losses. And how much they it's kind of unusual, but it's a well-known fact that people with lower credit scores have a tendency to get in automobile accidents more frequently than people with higher credit scores. That's kind of weird. I know that's hard for you to believe, but it's just the fact. Numbers never lie. And the first number you want to pay attention to is your credit score. Go to youandyourcredit.us, pull up your free copy of your credit score. Email me. If you're on my website, you can send me an email. You can contact me, email me your information, and we'll be happy to provide the information you need to improve your credit. And within 30 to 60 days, you'll be one happy camper. Again, youandyourcredit.us. Send us a copy of your information so we can take a look at it and discuss it with you. It's kind of an advantage. Think about it. If you can pull up your credit score and you can look at it, I can pull up the same credit score and I can look at it. So now we're looking at it at the same time. And you're wherever you are, at home, I'm in my office. Just think about it. Now, while I'm giving you this information, it actually makes sense. Because when you're looking at it, and I go down each line by line, and explain to you what each line represents, that's a betterment to you. That makes it easier. That's why most people will refuse to pull up his scores. I'm telling you, you're in your credit.us, pull up a score, let's take it from there. It's time to say goodbye now. It's been a great day. I hope I've provided some information. And for those that are 602 watchers and would like information on it, you need to email me and let me know if you'd like me to take that on for you, and we'll be happy to discuss it with you. This is Remus Bowman. We're signing off. Have a great day.